Right, guys, welcome back to some more Raging Loop. We did our first night, Takumi is dead, and let's see how this feast goes. It was obviously the right choice to kill Takumi, but I don't know if this will go smoothly. Also, I realized last episode, Haraki didn't tell the other werewolves about Meiko being a badger. I don't know how to feel about that. It's probably fine, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. The next morning came. As I expected, the wolf outfit and all the blood had vanished. That didn't mean that it was all a dream, though. Takumi's mutilated corpse was soon discovered, shocking the whole settlement. That was when I noticed that the murder scene was full of wet footprints. They were the same as the ones left by the previous wolves, and now I understood why they were there. They'd also wore those wet costumes. That makes a lot of sense. They didn't even continue outside the house, although apparently Great Lord Shinai took care of the costumes as well as evidence. What a methodical god. I was probably the only one who could be so clear-headed. Tai-san took this especially hard. She refused food and instead just prayed at one edge of the dining hall. Kanjo-san was looking really wary too. First Shimi, now Takumi-san. He was losing people he depended on one after the other. His reaction was only natural. As you'd expect, Yasunada-kun had gone pale once more. The person who consoled him the previous day was now gone forever after all. Then there's Kairi-san. She looked shaken and had already broken 2 plates. Everyone assumed her state was caused by Takumi-san's death. They were close after all, and everyone was sympathetic. I knew that she was actually just tense because she was planning to trap her sons and then kill them, but I didn't say a word, of course. Breakfast was over and we finished washing the dishes. Kanzo-san prepared to go clean up Takumi-san and said that, which made a chill go down my spine. I had no idea what kind of info the two would exchange if they had a secret chat. I don't know. It could be a good or a bad thing, if Kanzo still sus of Yasu. That was why Yoshitsuru-kun's words were a big help. It was going great. Yeah, and then Kairi does her thing to not reveal if Takumi was a snake, if he told him. Yoshitsuru-kun returned from cleaning up, and Kanzo-san went patrolling, but Yasunada-kun and Kairi still hadn't returned. A bit worried, I finished cleaning up and relaxed when... Someone called out to me. Oh, she's sus of Meiko. We need to save her, man. That was an issue I'd nearly forgotten. A short distance from everyone else here, around 10 steps away from Tai-san and her prayers, we started whispering to each other. It was cute though. That's a little eerie. I may put some sus on her being a wolf, I guess. I feel like there's a difference between a little girl saying that they want to kill someone and a little girl says that someone should hang. I don't know, it's just like using the word hanged, it just feels so ominous.
ああ、いや、外ではそういう育て方をされた子供もいなくはないので。
まあ、
しかし、何なんでしょうね。
わかりません。いえ、
Don't use Meiko as a shield, bro. I'm not voting her
メイコ
if they give me a choice. Oh,
橋本様がおっしゃっていた。
oh.
無事ななので
I thought she was suspecting her of being a werewolf. She's thinking it's the badger. There, that's bad. She noticed it too, and she probably wasn't alone.
そうかもしれません。
Isn't that bad? I
狼に
don't
お
know.
びえた人。だから人をくくれと言ってるのか。
I guess you can use it like that to make it seem more human.
神藤吉には狼を善とし、他のお使いと休みず
Wait, she knew that?
黄泉に属すとす
I
る
thought that was
伝え
like
もあり
a
ます。
Thai thing only. Oops.
それを聞かされて、メイコは寝返った。
かもしれません。
What could have we done, dude?
私や春明様が
I don't think we made her.
メイコの機嫌を
I don't think we can explain
損ねてし
how
まっただけかも。
we did something so bad that she wants to hang us.
心当たりはないな。でも、ひとまずは放置しても大丈夫でしょう。彼女の言うことが宴の参加者に影響を与えることはまずない。
そんな楽観視していていいのでしょうか。メイコ
And she's always gonna spam vote us,
宴
though,
の
right?
参加者として
Unless
一
you
票を
actually
持って
try
い
to
ます。
explain to her. It is kind of a detriment, especially if Hashimoto begins to like push against us.
よくはないですが、しかしルールに従うなら彼女を宴から除外する唯一の方法はくくることで。
皆様の宴の機会を
Whoa! Don't do
奪っ
it,
てしまうならば、
please.
あるいは
That would be good for us.
やめましょう。それは人の票を無駄に1票減らしてしまいますし、
Yeah, don't tell Meiko,
残
man.
酷に過ぎます。
She's literally a useless badger, kinda.
わかりました。メイコにお慈悲をいただきありがとうございます。春明様。
リカ子さんはどうしてあの子にそこまで肩入れなさるんです？ただの迷子でしょうに。
身寄りのない子供を引き取って育てるのも植松家の役目でしたので。
そうなんですか。
はい。植松家は長者家の中では血筋をさほど重視せず、孤児や身寄りのない者を積極的に迎え入れてきました。
I could only assume they needed more bedroom women servants to fulfill their evening duties.
リカ子さんは伝統を大事になさるんですね。
はい。そのようなことしかない世界で生きてまいりましたので。
This whole area was a separate realm built around the worship of Great Lord Shinai. From my perspective, she was very unfortunate to have been born here. But perhaps from her point of view, being a city boy without the pillars of faith and tradition to support me was far more unfortunate. Where'd she go, man? She just dipped. I couldn't deny that a world where the way to live and die hadn't changed for centuries could be easier to live in. A well-balanced aquarium didn't need to stay stable. It just had to continue following already established processes. However, in the real world, closed systems were extremely hard to maintain. Other animals, diseases, lineages, ideals. The system was threatened by countless things. In liberated societies, however, the people had to develop a strong will with a blend of common sense and individuality and constantly conflict with others. Not like that couldn't crumble as a result of outside influences either, but there's no denying that it was tougher than a secluded, happy society. Open societies exchange certain happiness for the practical, universal simplicity we call money. That reasoning was probably a bit shaky. Anyway, this settlement, as well as Fujiyoshi, would eventually fall victim to our aging society. Without a single person here, Great Lord Shinai would just like the badger, or the nameless mountain god, be forgotten and vanish. The Umetsu, her included, would simply vanish faster than the rest. Thus, what I felt for right now was merely sympathy for something facing its inevitable end. I mean, that's sure, whatever. A worthless sentiment you could have about anything. I feel like it's a little different from when you're talking about a person, but okay. You know, Haruaki's a little morally conflicted. Glad he's having none of that happened. It literally did. I'd thrown away even Shiemi. Yeah, but did Shiemi touch a knife for you? I don't think so. Well, nah, to be fair. It's alright.
どうかしてましたか僕。
怖い顔をなさっていました。
あはは、すみません。
I had to keep a tight grip on my conscience. Without deciding what to do about Meiko, I returned to the dining hall where I found Yasunada-kun and Kaori-san. Yasunada-kun seemed a bit better than before, but only slightly. Kaori-san looked the same, though, so I couldn't tell if she'd succeeded in getting Yasunada to not talk about Takumi-san.
お昼の準備を始めましょうか。今日もすぐに宴でしょうから。
わかりました。
I opened the metal pot I'd grown used to using, and found a piece of paper inside. Oh, sneaky. Takumi didn't tell Yasunada anything about being a snake. He simply consoled Yasunada about Shiemi-chan's death and talked about how they could proceed with the feast. Maybe Haruaki is wrong about Takumi being a snake. Like I said last time, I didn't really get the snake vibes from him, to be honest, so... Still could be the Nosato thing. Just saying. It's still a decent kill, but it's a lot weaker if he wasn't the snake. Maintaining my poker face, I brought the pot to the sink and filled it with water, getting the paper all wet. The fountain pen letters quickly became unreadable. I then used a scrubbing brush to quickly tear it apart, rolled it into a ball, and threw it in the trash. Was Kaori-san aware of just how risky that was? Anyway, that info just now was extremely important. Takumi-san hadn't told him about being a snake. What was I to make of that? The first time Takumi-san had revealed he was a snake on the very first day, why would he be so careful now? Because he's not the snake? Your only reason in thinking he's a snake is because he said he couldn't die yet. He could have been the crow or the spider. Doesn't need to be the snake, bro. Obviously, him being the spider would be a great kill. Worst case is he's just a villager and he just overread. What if he wasn't the snake? What if Yasunada-kun lied to his mother as a precaution? That could be true too. Crap, Kaori-san's note didn't tell me anything about how she asked about it or the nuances of the replies. But this could definitely be a good time to come out as a snake. That sounds like a horrible idea. I don't know how you can come to that conclusion. If you're uncertain he's a snake, it can backfire on you so hard. Unless you come out first and Nosato's a snake, then maybe you can win just because people don't like Nosato. But then you lose if, well, actually, we'll see. What was I to do now? I thought about that for every second of lunch. I did think I kept a normal expression on my face, at least. It took far too long to decide that, regardless of circumstances, I needed to claim a role. Okay. And I guess Snake's the best ass. Well, let's see how this goes. Man, this... I know Takumi was one guy, and obviously the old wolf guy's down, but like it feels a lot smaller, despite only losing 2 people.
匠を殺した狼は絶対にくくらねばならないからね。
Prayer time was over for her. Her sadness and confusion had become hatred of the wolves. Everyone displayed approval of her words, including us wolves. We might have been the ones terrorizing them, but it wasn't hard for us to act like the powerless resistance. Alright, first of all, Yasunari said that Takumi-san's death rendered the snake's power meaningless. His tone seemed authentic, so it's hard to believe he was just hiding that we'd lost the snake. Don't claim it then.
となると、この時点で人だと確定しているのは、未だにモッチーと橋本さんの2人だけ。知恵ねえと。
Oh yeah, Chiami's-san too. I forgot about her.
この場には13人。未確定者がまだ11人もいる。
そこから1人、一番怪しいものをあげて処刑するか。
今日、ヘビが調べるものを選べ。
Don't pitch, man. What if they just well, we're gonna target Yasunari. But if I was there, I'd argue... I don't know. It's like an interesting strategy. I think we commented on it before when they said it. But I don't know if it's good enough. Because if they just keep hitting off the intended snake targets, then they just never get info. Unless the spider's like smart and blocks it or whatever. But yeah. Yasunari was giving me a sideways glance.
兄ちゃんなんじゃないの？いろいろ喋ってるし、怪しまれたら。
そうだ。下手すりゃジジイあたりが難癖つけそうじゃねえか。
僕、疑わしいですかね。
てめえと記者の女は初日にくくることを知る。
A lot of people were against hanging the first day.
それを言うなら、匠兄だってそうだし、感動さんだって否定はしなかったでしょ。
わしは今日はくくる方に入れた。
Kanjo-san began presenting his unreasonable arguments. Yeah, it's not great. He was basically saying that just about everyone here deserved the noose.
まあまあ、実のところ判断材料はまだ全然足りないんですよ。初日の投票
Yeah, it's dumb
判断材料
logic.
にするのは間違いです。提案したのは猿の保護者である僕ですからね。まあ、抑えてください。ちなみに、楽観論だけど、昨日のおじいさんが狼だっていう可能性はないのかな。
ねえよ。
Oh, he's the crow? A certain answer from a place no one expected.
狼ジジイは人間だっつって。
Alright, crow confirmed.
お前、それは。
全員動くな。
Ooh. Sharp words and a sharp sound. He stabbed a kitchen knife from the dining hall into the tatami before him. Haru-chan gasped while Kanzo-san made a stern face and got up.
動くなっつってんだ。ジジイでも容赦はしねえぞ。
Kanzo-san could have probably beaten him, even with 1 or 2 stab wounds in him. He didn't do it though, probably because the hostility in Yoshitsuru-kun's voice was highly restrained. Despite his intense words, he was very calm and displayed great determination. It was a silent threat, and Kanzo-san believed it was worth listening to him.
なんじゃ、言え。
He even encouraged him to talk.
俺はカラスだ。昨日くくられた狼ジジイは人だった。もし他にカラスを名乗る奴が出たら間違いなく偽
Ooh.
物だから。
Well, can't fade being a crow.
やめたまえ。そんなパフォーマンスは。
やめねえ。読み意味の宴なんざ。要は信じるか信じないかの勝負だろ。なら一番本気見せた奴が勝つ道理だ。違うかよ、狼ども。殺される覚悟があんなら語ってみせろや。 カラスをよ。
I saw what he was doing here,
結局は信じるか信じないかだろ
taking over the Takumi role. They do both wear leather, I think. They both reached the same conclusions because they weren't wrong. Due to the unreliable nature of playing the odds, the feast became, just as I thought, a game of politics rather than logic. In political scenarios, the ones who were in charge were the loudest and most emotional, not the most rational. After all, logic required energy to understand. Basically, it was a pain in the ass. The people who actually enjoyed building complex logical theories were, by far, in the minority. The majority disliked wasting energy on understanding them, even if they did have the capacity. There's something they all had in common. They all wanted to believe that the world was actually easy to understand, the truth was simple, and that someone was just making it more complex than it was. The truth was that any world worked based on complicated mechanisms, and it only seemed simple because you wanted to see it that way. However, it was impossible to impress the complexity of the world upon everyone. Thus, people always left certain matters, such as science or politics, to those considered to be the pros. It was a sensible delegation of authority. But to earn trust, you need to present yourself in a way that was simple rather than complex. You needed a story that the ones who cast logic aside would easily swallow. Like Takumi-san back then and Yoshitsuru now, they've realized that, so they decided to gamble on it. Discard logic, pick your methods based on feelings and preference, gamble and win support. They provided the anti-logic crowd with a convenient lifeboat. It was definitely a good approach, but Yoshitsuru-kun had overlooked two things.
いねえようだな。じゃあ、俺が本物のカラスだってことでいいな。
First was his own nature. He was a persuasive person even when there was no basis for it. I actually admired that. Yoshitsuru-kun was a generic, edgy delinquent to the core. However, he was kind at heart as well as passionate and naive. That much was plain for me to see. It was why everyone could believe him if he took things seriously enough. As long as he stayed honest, no one would doubt him. It was a rare and valuable talent. In a good-natured society, that is.
じゃあ義継はカラスのカゴ車で確定。狼じじいも人で確定。あと10人の中に3人の狼がいるってことだ。
That was all that he earned by revealing his guardian to us wolves. Was it really worth the risk? Well, we're killing the astronaut. Well, maybe we can convince Terry to kill him first. It's not bad. I don't know. I feel like revealing crows right now is not bad because it's not like it's a target we need to hit, but like I don't know. The other thing he misunderstood was that this was something that couldn't be emulated. No one who tried something similar would get the same results. This was because winning via brute force was usually a bad move in this game. He was an exception. It did nothing and he could only use it once. You should have saved that for the endgame, Yoshitsuru-kun. Oh, how I wanted to say that. I don't necessarily agree, but I think he probably could have held it longer, but I think it's fine for the humans to have another villager confirmed. Plus, you know, in our own metagame, we are gonna kill him and Yasunaga soon, so like, there wouldn't really be an endgame. I wanted to put a shit-eating grin and tell him that to him. I really wanted him to understand how harsh the world really was. Thus had to survive. Damn it, I had to win this even more now. That's his bad personality showing through. It's funny because I disliked Haruaki like when I first started reading this. Then I kind of liked him a bit more, and now like in this route, I'm kind of like liking him a little less. It's going back down a bit. I don't know. He seems more novel. Like before, he seemed like an asshole. Then I'm like, okay, I kind of understand him. Now it's kind of treading into like novel characteristics. It's a little too much, honestly, to like really connect with him at all. If this was Yasunaga-kun's trap, I'd fall right into it. It'd be embarrassing, but I'd just loop back and try again. Okay, we're going for it. See no Sato's reaction?
あなたが
僕は彼ほどの強烈なアピールはできませんが、もし対抗して狼が蛇を、その時は全力で論破してみせましょう。
Okay, we took the initiative.
いますか、蛇を語る方は。
No, of course not. Takumi Umura really was the snake.
どうやらこれで未確定者が9人
Unless they're waiting. They're waiting to strike. And Yasunada didn't know that either. Oh, how I wanted to thank Takumi-san because of how thoroughly he kept his secret. We both would be saved.
昨日はあんな言い方をして匠兄を調べることを自分で提案してたんですね。
そういうこと。ただ無駄になってしまったけどね。
そうね。調べる人を明示してしまうのも考えものだわ。調べた端から殺していけば確定者はいつまでも増えない。
Bingo, that was why I suggested we chat Takumi-san. I also wanted to see his reaction to help me figure out if he was a snake. Alright, gotta play this well now. You gotta give villager to like someone useless. Like Mako. Or Tai. Tai would be fine. I already had an answer to that. Or that, since we're gonna kill him tonight. Sure. And like, I don't know, it's good, but like, why do you like spread the seeds with Hanzo then? Doesn't that just ruin the whole plan of like distrust between them if they're both? Well, we don't know if Hanzo is a human, but I mean he is, but it's not revealed, so. Mako. Ooh, he knows. I knew he would point that out.
それは嘘をつくとかいう記者さんが言うとったあれかね。
そうです。多分実在したんだと思うんです。
She is the goat.
すみません。よくわからないこと。そうでもなければ、このように誰もをくくるなどということではありませんから。
But the badger knows who the wolves are. So it's not a good idea to hang her, it's just to interrogate her for the wolves, right? Or does she know who the wolves are? Maybe she doesn't. She just knows she needs to help the wolves.
彼女の立ち位置はよくわからないのだけど、一つきっと静かにしておけと指示を受けると思うんですよね。だから彼女も人だということでいいんじゃないかと思うわけです。
Well, can't use the Mako shield anyway. That's good for us though.
もしそれを外せば残り7人にまで減ります。
Wolves getting smaller.
肝臓さん。
ふざけんじゃねえ。
Silence.
無事なだ。そんなもんおらん。
カンちゃん。しかしゲンさんもそのようなことを言ってたわよ。
ゲンの親父は最後ボケとったろうが。
Why is he mad though?
そんなもん
でも狼なら黙ってるはずって説には説得力が。
これっぽっちもね。狼がガキを見殺しにして。
Either way, you don't hang her until later then. Even if she was a wolf, there's no point. She doesn't contribute to anything. Ooh, maybe that's... See, I told you this would backfire, because we literally, like... We literally, like, put Kanzo against Yasunada. Why would we say then he's human? I don't know, it seemed like a bad play.
はい、間違いなく。
それなら、ヤスは甘すぎる。
そんなことは。
チーが死んだ時も、くくらんでええと言った。
ああ、 そうですか。僕が信用できないと。
The mood changed. Yes, Nathan was as stern as he's been when he was a wolf.
兄貴、黙らせるならやるぜ。
それはまだ。
Oh, he's a roll.
ああ、安
Maybe.
が怒った。こりゃ早いとこ退散したいな。
兄ちゃん、やめようよ。
久石さん、さっきは僕を調べるべきだって話になってましたが、それはもう無意味ですよね。
そうだね。すでに調べてたから。
じゃあ次調べるのはハルちゃんです。
That's bad. Oh no.
私を調べてくれるの？
ああ、一度調べてもらったら。
Oh no. I mean, and Tanja's gonna be fine with that, obviously. I didn't mind that. Now that I'd taken the role of the snake, I could lie as much as I wanted. But why do you suggest it now? Naturally, Tanja sent snap. What? I thought he would like that.
わしを調べろ。わしは人じゃ。若えのもわしが優先じゃと言った。
確かに発言量の多い順から調べるのが順当かと思うが。
True. True. I mean, yeah, better. It is better. If I was really the snake... Well, actually, I don't know. It's probably too much to make a hypothetical now. With our knowledge.
なんだと。
あなたは孫娘の安否確認より自分が宴で選ぶる方が大事なんだ。
てめえは地位が死んだからって春のことを手元に置きてえってか。
Oh shit.
僕はハルちゃんのことはそんな風には思っていませんが。
Yeah, so Naruto was able to finish his sentence. Because Tanza-sen's fist didn't reach him. Yoshitsugu had jumped in at just the right time to take it in his stomach. Oh, this is messy. He then sunk his left fist into Yoshitsugu-kun's cheek. The teen fell to the ground. The kitchen knife from before was still in the tatami a few feet in front of him. Kanto-san had already noticed it, so he beat Yoshitsugu-kun to the punch and grabbed the handle. Then prepared to... Everyone was looking at Kanto-san right now. Cold stares, fearful eyes, judgmental glares. Yasunaka-kun's trap wasn't that special. Like he said, it was worth investigating Kanto-san and confirming his humanity at this point. However, since he was so rough about it, Kanzo had gone and treated Haru-chan as Yasunaka-kun's woman rather than his dear granddaughter. That was when he had to retract his statement and stop himself. There are many ways he could have gone about this, like saying that letting Haru-chan be investigated could get her killed, like Takumi-san last night. Or he could have said he made a mistake, that Haru-chan was more important, and let her have the turn. He would have still had everyone's respect then. He could have still been the backbone of the village. But now he turned violent and pointed a blade at the defenseless brothers. Right now, he was just a threat to everyone. Upon coming back to his senses, he seemed to realize that he crossed a line that he could never come back from. The crude old man was at a loss for words. Excuses, manipulation, rationalization, all of these concepts referring to a character as stoic as he was. A man of few words had little he could say after such a catastrophic blunder. However, out of all the words he could have chosen, I certainly didn't expect those. And now we don't hang him, because he's a villager. If they actually hang him, they're dumb. Don't vote for him, wolves. It's bad. Hashimoto will see that clearly. No. If you're a villager, no. Annie, though.
そうせざるを得ないです。
よしもだな。
当たり前だろうが。
We're just got rats.
森部もいい。
そんなこと。
ああ、一旦落ち着きましょう。いろんなことが。
Yeah, if you're a villager, anyone who votes him is sus, so don't vote it.
黙っとれ。
しかし、
これは僕らの問題です。
参ったな。
カンちゃん、まだ早いんじゃないんかね。
じじい、ババアから死ぬのが正しい。
They're actually doing this. What the heck,
バ
man?
バアも覚悟はしとけ。
おじいちゃん。
春、達者でな。
Oh man. Were these people brain dead? This wasn't the time or place for this. Personal vendettas, lover spats, brotherly union, maturity, generation gaps. This wasn't a situation where you could waste it on something like that, was it? It's not, but you know, they're human, so. Kanjo-san was human no matter how you put it. Sure, you'd shown some distress, but they had to make an effort to fix that. I didn't mind if they got rid of someone who's made unnecessary scene, but the decision should have been more calculated and less emotional. Those who weren't part of the circle just didn't know how to react. Hashimoto-san showed some serious courage to trying to intervene. However, he underestimated how cold Yasumizu could be toward outsiders. I knew that well thanks to Chami. Well, not like I objected to this outcome. If these people were going to accept his death and find unity in madness, I'd just play along. I wasn't looking down on them, I just thought they were brain dead. But I had to take that back. Okay, I wasn't looking down on them, I just thought they were brain dead, but I had to take that back. Okay, the trauma helps a lot. Otherwise that sentence was hilarious. Madness was a fearsome foe to face. I let myself revel in victory once I actually won, and I would definitely emerge victorious. Thanks to my looping, I had all the attempts I needed, and then some. Why'd her face just come back to my head? She has nothing to do with this turn of events, right? Not even the last time. What was I not supposed to become? Takumi-san and Shimi were gone now. Thus, the task of tying up and dragging and hanging Kanzo had transferred to the Uribe brothers. The elder brother led while the younger one dragged. Everyone else followed after, singing a saddening version of Prayer to Shinai. Though perplexed, the journos joined in too, and they looked a lot like I had back then. By this point, the feeling that the villagers were crazy had dulled, and I was starting to believe that I was the anomaly here. The term peer pressure came to mind. There certainly was a way to use peer pressure to erode people's aversions, to murder and reduce them to marionettes. By imposing such meaningless, repetitive rituals on a group of people enough times, they would eventually be viewed as commonplace events. It had been done many times throughout history, in wars, POW camps, cultist sets, and the feast. No, Yasumizu as a whole was a prime example of that. The local culture was deeply ingrained in their minds. I know this is important, but I really feel like the snake's still alive. You know who I think? It might be Mamiya, man. Cause she like sussed out Haru in the first night. Like that, maybe she actually like got Haru, but she didn't want to expose it at this time. I don't know. I feel like the snake's alive. It's not talking to me. We're screwed. It would be kind of cool. I mean, he's kind of right that we can just loop back infinitely and change shit, but like, wouldn't it be cool if this was like a route where we just couldn't win as werewolves no matter what we did? That'd be funny. Anyone living here would eventually start to question their own way of life. Huh. So the story I created wasn't far off the mark. Anyone living near a hellish place long enough would themselves become inhabitants of hell. If you looked at it that way, I might have been a resident of hell myself. Now what did Great Lord of the local hell Shinae-sama want out of something so needlessly profound? I still didn't know. In fact, I wasn't sure if the god himself knew what he wanted out of this. Just a thought. An eternal dance of murder and concealment shrouded in the densest mist.
おじいちゃん。
もう挨拶はした。みんな、あとは頼んだ。
落ちな。
おじいちゃん。
落ちなかれ。
The brothers extended their hands and the rugged old man's body fell down. In a moment the rope went taut, and I heard a sound akin to a frog's croak from down below. The seeds of malice I planted had grown and bloomed. Yeah. I wanted him to live a bit longer and play the role of the antagonist, hateful old fart, but oh well. Deciding to kill him would probably haunt Yasunada-kun until he died. As someone with a strong sense of justice, he would either eventually self-destruct or struggle to find some eternal justification for it, or he'll grow to the task, and when we try to kill him or Yoshitsuru tonight, we'll get blocked, and I feel like it's gonna go bad soon. It's not gonna be this smooth. No, we promised Haruyu-san that we would kill him soon. Whatever the case, there's no problem for us. For now. I just had to be wary of some surprise attacks from the rest. Hope that the last of the Umetsu, Rikako-san, didn't have any other secrets. And think of how to deal with these two. Hashimoto-san wasn't shaken by the lynching, and as we returned our eyes met, I had no idea what he was thinking. His expression and eyes were both unreadable to me. He, on the other hand, clearly read something about me. That wasn't fair. First Yoshitsuru-kun, now Hashimoto-san. Their goddamn superpowers were just unfair. They were the reason why I, a normal, talentless individual who didn't stand out in any way, had to take such drastic measures. See? Unlikable. I don't know, man. He was an asshole before, but this is just like, I don't know. I couldn't even tell if he actually suspected me or was just slightly uneasy. I felt like I was doing a good job, but since I was now at the forefront, it was more likely that I would be the targeted. What would he do next? I was actually kind of excited for tomorrow's feast. After the feast, everyone gathered in the dining hall. With barely any words, we ate a simple dinner and went on our own ways. Takumi-san and Kanzo-san were gone now, so we didn't have anyone say that it was time to go back. However, it was hard to believe they would just collapse. Hashimoto-san would plan and decide what to do tomorrow, and the Uribe brothers would do something too. I could only imagine what they were thinking of in the window between sheltering and dreaming. Thus began our third secret meeting. We would tear their fragile plans to shreds. Don't get too talky, man. Her voice was calm but stern. They were sure excited about this. It still pissed me off. As did Shami's face, which often flashed before my eyes recently. I made a smile and asked that.
ええ、苦渋の決断ですよね。黄泉から落ちた息子を自分の手で、悲劇的な展開じゃないですか。はるちゃんなんて、今日、肉親が死ぬのをぬけぬけと見守ったんだよ。
Stop asking them to be more human when you're literally just as inhuman right now, to be honest.
これじゃあ、強人じゃないか。人として、最低じゃないですか。僕だって、この力を持って生まれた日から、ろくでもないこともたくさんしてきましたが、いるべき場所を間違えた方を送り返すには、それなりの共感と同情と罪悪感を持ってやってきました。
This life was such a pain at this point. I didn't even have a reason to keep telling it anymore.
僕らが平然としていたら、僕らがやってることの正しさは消えるんですよ。
私たちが苦しんでないとでも？
Oh?
苦しんでるんですか？
ええ。泣いたりわめいたりするのがもう億劫だから頑張って
私はあなたに迷惑をかけたくないから。あなたと違って私たちは狂わないとあなたにはついていけない。
それでも普通は狂い方なんてみんな知らないはずなんですけどね。あとはるちゃんは僕のせいにはするな。香織さんは2人殺した後死んでくれるからいいけど、君は違うだろ。生き残れた時に君にも罪を背負ってもらわないといけないんだから。
じゃあ私も死ねばいいのかな。
そうね。死ねばいいじゃない。
I raised my leg and tipped over the bucket.
こんな茶番たくさんだ。
なら早く済ませましょう。
そうね。早く済ませよ
Oh, we'll save it for next time. What's the play here? I think it's still kill Yasunaga, just because I think Yoshitsuru's gonna be spidered. But we'll do it next time. Come on. It's perfect to end at a choice because it's a cliffhanger. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. Tanzo's down. A very weird way to go. I mean, even though I made fun of Haraki, it is really stupid because he was literally human. Like, he literally said he was human, but you know, that might rally the troops. I don't know. I am like so sure the snake's still alive, by the way, and we're gonna maybe get trapped tomorrow. Maybe the snake's just undercover, just slowly brewing. I think it might be Mamiya or Nosato. I still think Nosato's a role. But we'll see though. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you next time. Some more Raging Loop. Later.